Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Flash stream.
Hey.
I invited Maxfield to be a co-host for this event because he is quite the Flash expert.
Huge Flash fan. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing up and doing
honored.
this with me.
Big event here.
Yeah. It was a big deal for him to finally see the Flash have his own film. So
finally,
that was great. And
5 long years.
And it's definitely not perfect. We're going to talk about things that we like, things that we didn't like. We'd love to, if you guys have any opinions in the chat, we will definitely love to hear your thoughts on the certain things we want to talk about, as well as anything else. So
welcome.
Yeah, we're probably going to keep this just to an hour and have a little fun, nerdy Flash talk.
Keep it speedy.
Yeah. So I guess what are your general thoughts or things that you wanted to point out?
I am so happy with this. I didn't get disappointed like many audience members might have. I feel like this was the one Flash movie that we all got, and I'm happy with it. I mean, we even got cameos, way more than I thought we would. So I didn't know my Flash movie would be a Batman movie and a Supergirl movie. And a multiverse, gateway to the rest of the DC universe. So, this is a lot more than I thought we even deserved.
Well, how do you think, since you are a huge DC fan, how do you think the film ended as far as, we were promised by James Gunn that this would kind of...
So, spoiler alerts.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is absolutely a spoiler conversation. So that's fine. So, but, how do you do you think it gave us an idea, or because I personally think it was a little too vague?
I think James Gunn was hoping that people would cling to this, and that would also usher in Flash to the rest of the DCU, as he's calling it. So the Gunverse would also feature some Barry Allen in it. But I think he, could go either way. And since the studio's actually in control, he lost it. And I don't think he's proud of it. I think this is everybody saying we don't really want Flash. I guess not.
Yeah.
It won't be rebooted. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not going to be rebooted. And I have been saying this a little bit. I do think that you might still see an Ezra Miller Flash cameo,
maybe
in a couple things down the line. But who knows? I don't think it's going to be like a Flash 2 movie anytime soon, or even if they're going to continue with him at all. But
no, he could, the cameos at the end are Aquaman. A Batman being George Clooney, even through, we'll get into this later, the multiverse, seeing Nick Cage as Superman.
Well, yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know how that movie ended. It almost was like a question mark. And that made me just, it made me being like, I guess that's an ending. And that's all we're going to get.
Yes. Yeah.
So satisfied completely.
Well, okay. So maybe you can tell them a little bit about your Flash that you grew up reading is not Barry Allen.
Right. Oh, yeah. I did grow up collecting a lot of comic books in my childhood and my teens. But my Flash was Wally West, the blonde guy. He could be more of a jerk. And I'm thinking, just talking to her earlier, this Flash that they show in the movies is kind of different than the ones in the comics. This Barry Allen is, he's kind of more awkward, and Ezra Miller's interpretation. So, yeah, I grew up with Wally West. I got all of his comics. Even have some right here.
Oh, yeah.
These are Robin comics I just dug up, but all the same. You got a little bit of Robin action, but this is what I'm proud of. This is kind of like a little Flash 2023 minus Robin.
Wow.
I know. It just feels good to have something that's from the 90s, and this is definitely not Barry Allen. As you can see, you got something like that. It's gritty in 90s, so they're not the best. So, but that's all I had.
I'm going to just get to the chat just a little bit.
Yes, let's check out what people have to say. Thanks all for joining.
Yeah, so we have Franco Walker. I'm going to miss this live. It will be 2 a.m. Thursday morning over here, LOL. Well, thanks for leaving a comment.
Thank you,
Franco's usually in the chats for... Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Hey, Jared. Thank you for stopping by.
What up, Jared Runner?
Yeah. Emmett.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are happy to see you as well,
Happy
Emmett.
to
So
see
thank you.
Emmett Yuri.
Hey there, everyone. What I gotta say is I enjoyed the film. Yeah, I really think that even if you are someone that did feel disappointed with it, I think it's still like a decent movie
Right.
and much better than what we've gotten in quite some time, except for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because that's a masterpice.
Right. Like we should think, is this a bad movie?
No,
would not
it's not a
say.
bad movie. I
Right.
think it's okay to just like it just say it's good. And I think that's where the conversation gets really hyper blown on both ends. Like, no, it's
supposed
not
to be a
life changing, but it's also not
masterpiece.
like a horrible movie. So
No.
both camps are like a little exaggerated on
Depends
that.
on how you look at it.
Yes. Okay. KB loves movies.
What up, KB?
Yes. Thank you for showing
You're
up.
the man.
And hey, Tracy and Max. I haven't seen The Flash yet, but I wanted to say hi to two of my faves. Hope all is well.
Sorry about the spoilers.
Yeah, KB. Maybe you should not watch this stream.
JK.
You know, because we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers, but probably. But we'll try to be mindful of if we're going to, like, I'll try to say, like, oh, we're going to talk about spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Like we kind of did at the end. So,
Mm-hmm.
Drew, thank you very
What up,
much.
Drew?
Very supportive.
Good to see you.
And Lance says, nice comic books. Yes.
They're a dime a dozen.
He
I'm
has
sure they're not worth anything.
He has a huge collection.
Yeah,
but
in
they're in
right
storage.
now.
Yeah. So this is just
Very proud.
a couple of the ones that you.
Yeah, and I even have like first grade through fourth grade homemade comic book versions of the Flash that I'm trying to dig out, but maybe it'll be a little bonus on my Instagram.
Yeah. Very cool.
Love throwing it back to old comic book Flash.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to bring up, because I thought this was really well done, like the CGI is obviously really problematic in the movie, but we didn't realize that
Check this
Ezra
out.
Miller's double did both characters. So, you know, you can see at the top.
This is what I thought was the whole movie.
Yeah. So what is the body double's name again?
That would be Ed
Wade. Ed Wade,
I believe.
Yes. So at the top left, he's playing the goofier version of Barry.
Which I thought with the hair.
Yeah, and like I really think that the double scenes and the special effects on that I thought were really fantastic. But this is what we were going to point out is not only did he play the younger goofy version, he also played the other version, the older Barry. So you can see him actually on the top left. That's the body double. So he played both roles, which is really interesting. I really didn't think that was the case.
Ezra Miller was, not with long hair at all on set. But, even if it is a wig, I never knew they switched.
Well, yeah. Well, then he has short hair on the left.
Yeah. So. I mean, it must be all wigs. Who knew?
Oh, yeah. I mean, most films,
all Hollywood's wigs.
Yeah, they wear a lot of wigs in movies, and they try to just make them look as natural as possible.
It's one of the best parts of the movies.
Yeah. So I just thought that was a really interesting fact because that body double did a fantastic job and definitely put a lot of work in.
It's flawless in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you guys think of all the double work? Because again, I really think that that's where the movie shined technology wise and graphics wise.
Other movies aren't really like that. You see like face mapping on some body doubles and looks a little wonky, but this one I never even saw it except for like when they were in Batman's the bat plane when they're about to be dropped out. I noticed there was some lighting from underneath that just didn't match up, and him in the Flash suit just looked odd. But
yeah, that was the one time too that I agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I was really pretty blown away.
Couldn't tell
with that.
Even the heights were different. How did they do that?
Yeah, that is true.
Amazing.
Let's go back over here. Hello, Cinema Geek. Thank you for showing up. I wonder if you saw The Flash. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was a good film? Were you in between? Let us know. Emmett has a question. How would you compare Ezra Miller's Flash to Grant Gustin's Flash?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to say, I'm a huge Flash television fan on the CW. I got lost in that soap opera. Greg Berlanti. Yeah, I watched almost every season, maybe 7, maybe 6. But I think Grant Gustin deserved to be in the movie. That's how much I loved him. I think he compares almost, I don't know. Emotionally, I've seen some scenes in The Flash on TV that compared to Ezra Miller's interpretation. But, I would like to say that Ezra Miller has more of a grasp, but he hasn't played him for as long. I believe Batman versus Superman was the first time we ever saw him in that convenience store scene. And it's almost just a cameo, if that.
And what year did that come out?
That was 2013.
2013. Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's 10 years.
If not, yeah.
So have they been playing it then for the same amount of time, just in different projects? Pretty
much. I think more consistently, Grant Gustin deserves a lot more accolade. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I really, let's see, if I had to compare the two, Ezra Miller knows how to make you feel bad for his past, and Grant Gustin makes you feel for his future. That's how I would put it. Because, I know Barry in the movies is going to be fine. This movie ended on, who's this? And in the TV show, I don't know if that's the same. You really worry, is he going to be okay? As he builds a family, is the family going to be okay?
I've never seen the Flash TV show. As far as CW shows go, the one I'm the most familiar with is Smallville. I saw all of those episodes and every season of that.
Very soapy.
Yeah, and they had I forget the person that played the Flash on that. Maybe if someone in the chat knows.
Oh, right. That kid back in the day.
Yeah.
Which was a very similar outfit to how he first showed himself in this movie.
Oh.
He had on, the yellows and the reds and the goggles. The early costume.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see.
Let's see here. We have another question.
Cool.
Real quick though, because I know you touched upon this. We all feel, and I think everyone feels, that there should have been a cameo by Grant Gustin in the movie.
Yeah,
that was
unfair.
I think that was just absolutely so disrespectful to not have him present during that scene where you get to see all the past DC.
Right. You could have CGI'd him in.
Yeah. Okay. I got a huge question. What superhero movie do you think has the biggest issue of going off the rail in the third act?
There's a lot, probably.
I mean, isn't that what Spider-Man 3 is known for? The third act just goes off the rails
with Venom.
Yeah, well, they're trying to fit everything in at once.
Oh, the third act of the film or the third act of the trilogy?
The third act of the third movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's so, because it's what superhero movie has the biggest issue?
Yeah.
Of just going off the rail in the third act.
Both ways. Yeah. The third movie in Spider-Man trilogy by Sam Raimi. I mean, he just tried anything. And the studio wanted Venom, so we had to try that too.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to talk about the third act of a film, superhero movie, I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, I like the ending of X-Men, but all the quips and quotes on top of the Statue of Liberty was a bit much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of when it became detrimental, where it was too much.
Yeah.
I mean, also, honestly, I know a lot of people love Aquaman. The reason I didn't like Aquaman is because I felt like they were trying to fit in too much, and it felt like I would have rathered a simpler storyline. I felt like they were trying to be here's this.
Yes.
And I just did. When you're thrown too much stuff, you become you just don't care. You become desensitized in the film. That's kind of how I felt with Aquaman.
And Drew, I think the movie Hancock is a good example of a movie with a third act that went crazy.
Oh yes.
But it's been so long since I've seen that. Hancock, what a weird, forgotten classic.
I haven't seen it, but I do have something exciting to talk about.
There we go.
Cool. Very cool. How would you rank the actors cast as the 6 members of the Justice League?
I like Barry the best. I do like Henry Cavill, but he will never be used again.
if I had to rank them, I personally think they were all cast pretty well, if you think about it. I mean,
Wonder Woman might be down on my list.
she's at the lowest just because of her acting skills,
Mhm.
but her look makes
Yeah.
sense.
I like the burly look of Aquaman, you know.
Yeah, I think the casting of Aquaman makes sense too.
And Cyborg, perfect.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about.
Cyborg, they should have had a cameo.
Oh, he was
for
supposed
him
to be
too.
in Flash. Come
That's-
on, we all remember how buddy they were. Let's not act like that wasn't part of the script and the intention of Snyder and Warner Brothers. But unfortunately, accountability was not had, and they axed him. They don't even want him to be associated with it.
I'm so glad you brought that up because we were going to show you guys a photo of this because one of the people that I didn't like was I never liked Ben Affleck as Batman until this movie.
Finally.
Yeah, and he actually we actually found these set photos because I've said he and I both agree like it looks like there's been so many
He's looked sad in the past, and finally
yes
Ben Affleck
he finally looks like he's having a great time on set. So look at them, they're just loving it.
I know.
So it was nice. You could tell that he was really enjoying himself.
Andy's sister, Barbara Muschetti, who produces the film, took these. It's just proof that it's not a crappy time. Same with Batgirl. Not a crappy time on set. Everyone had a good time, but one of these got released.
Yeah. That's
I could go on about Batgirl. Just think, Brendan Fraser as the villain, Firefly. Oh, we would have just loved it.
Yes, we would have. Do you want to read the next question?
Yeah. Jason Old Millennial. Yeah, thank you. I remember watching a Flash TV show back in the 90s. Thank you for bringing that up. But the show kind of bombed. Yeah, wasn't it one season or kind of went and done? I was fortunate enough to be introduced to this by my dad. That was early, 1990, so I was only 2. But I do remember it, and I think it was on CBS. Loved it. John Wesley Shipp. He epitomized, that strong Flash with the 90s abs. Bless you.
Excuse me. Pardon.
And it was very Tim Burton-like. Have you ever seen The Flash?
I have not, which is why I have you here.
Right. No, and he was on Grant Gustin's TV show, as the original. Well, he played the original in The Crisis on Infinite Earths, but he was,
I'm so sorry. I don't
bless
like keep
you.
sneezing. I apologize.
But he had many roles in that show. They always like to reuse him in different ways. Bless that man for starting the whole Flash in live action.
You can read the next one too.
This past weekend, I got to meet 3 actors, took pictures and autographs with them.
Oh,
Lucky dog. Thank
wow.
you, Cinema Geek 100.
I'm gonna put his comment down here up because he actually then goes to tell us who he saw.
Okay. Dick Wien and he played a character in Friday the 13th, Part 5. Nick Castle, you also met from Halloween. Jason Mewes. Ooh,
That's cool.
Very cool.
I'm assuming you were at some type of not Cinecon, but like horror con
But a
type
convention.
of thing. Yeah, convention.
Very cool. You truly are a cinema geek. Oh man. Laren,
Yes.
what it do, my good friend?
Thank you for showing up, Laren. It's
You the
always
man. Thanks
nice
for
to
being here.
see you.
Good evening to you.
Do you want to take this?
Yeah, my choice would be Wonder Woman. The finale isn't horrible, but wasn't as good as the first 2/3.
Yeah.
For the character who was.
Yeah. Well, are we talking about the first one or the second one? Because I didn't necessarily hate the first one. I kind of enjoyed that.
She wishes she got a number 3.
The second one, though, man, that is rough.
But yeah, the finale, the third act in that first one. I don't even remember Wonder Woman 84. So I remember she fought Cheetah at the end.
Yeah, it was.
But,
what a waste of Kristen Wiig's talent.
And I'm just glad they brought back Chris Pine.
We all like Chris Pine, yeah.
Even though he was dead.
Yeah.
Good question. You would like to know each of our favorite films in Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins is your favorite. Wow, that's bold. I used to say that too. And I would like to say it's Dark Knight Rises, not only because it's filmed in Pittsburgh and I got to see the production and be on set and touch that snow, but I love Bane, and I love how they finally got to break Batman's back on screen. Because I grew up with the Nightfall comics, and that was my stuff. So I got to see it finally adapted to screen. Thank God Nolan was brave enough to do that, because I don't think he wanted Bane at first. Who knows?
Well, I mean, mine is The Dark Knight, but I think that Batman Begins is incredibly underappreciated.
It is. It's what brought it all on. It showed a different side of Bruce Wayne we never saw. It introduced Joe Chill. I really like that one.
I think that one
scared
probably
the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It was pretty dark.
I think that Batman Begins probably deserves a rewatch from everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just one of those movies I think we should all just like go back
and don't watch 2 and 3. Just watch the first one as a separate piece.
Yeah.
Because the ending is like, oh, there's more. Oh, escalation? What?
Great question, Laren. Thank you.
Cool.
Do you think Ezra Miller had what it took to be a leading man, or did they need to fill the movie with other actors like Michael Keaton to carry the load? I think that Ezra Miller is fine to be a leading man. I think the studios were just scrambling and were nervous wrecks because of the scandal and all the craziness revolving around Ezra, and so they were kind of like, let's throw this at you to like kind of distract, which wound up, in my opinion, just took away from the Flash's story, and the Flash's story in the film is like perfect. So like
could have been basic.
Yeah.
My opinion
Yeah.
is that he already proved himself to be a leading man through the 3 or 4 movies he popped up in. Warner Brothers really wasn't afraid to use him in the past, and he just embodied that suit. Does anyone else feel that way? He just like fit the suit right. I don't know if he's the right build or the right height, but his jaw like fit right in there. I don't know. I know that's not all it takes to be a leading man, but man, he really got me. His acting. I mean, I'm about to show her The Perks of Being a Wallflower, same movie that was filmed at the same time as Dark Knight Rises in Pittsburgh, and that's a great Ezra flick.
Yeah, no, those are all great points. So I think we definitely.
Yeah, he's no stranger to being almost like, not second fiddle, but right there near the leading man.
I genuinely think if Ezra gets back on track in his personal life, and we're not going to probably see him in any big franchises for a very long time, but we'll probably continue to see him in like indie films and like A24 films. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there's a movie he's in that is like, the Oscar caliber, just because of everything you said. So I think if he gets his personal life really back together and he has the psychiatric help that he needed to get, and just does like really smart indie roles, I think that would work best for the public eye, and then eventually maybe go back to doing some larger films.
Certainly.
But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell.
Yeah, we need to forgive. We
have Durant Cinema in the house. Thank you very much for showing up.
Good to see you, Durant.
Yeah. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hi to each other.
Yo.
Commander Nerd, welcome. I personally liked that they used the gray and blue colors for a suit as a nod to the 70s suit. Yeah, you were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah, finally, I think it worked because in the daylight, you would be able to see that blue and gray. And I believe, Neil Adams was the one who really popularized that suit. And yeah, I mean, it was bulkier and had that metal thing attached, and the breastplate was different. I guess, did Batman know he'd be sliding around on the street? Because that totally protected him.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But yes, definitely a nod to the 70s when you just saw it, like with the gloves. And,
I will say,
very happy with that.
Yeah. And I will say, I think the fact that we did see Batman during the day really grounded it for me. It made it feel so much more realistic. And I really felt like I was in Gotham, because I almost feel like seeing him out of place and it's not dark time just makes it feel like real life. And like you would see Batman during the daytime.
Against being out at
No,
during the
we
day?
just see it most
Lots and
often
lots,
show,
yeah.
you know, Spider-Man you see during the day all the time. So, and Batman you don't like see that as much. in the
No, they don't
movies.
like showing them in the
Yeah.
daytime.
So I think yes, to your point, the
Beautiful
suit,
hues.
noticing the suit to your point was
Right.
a great choice for the daytime thing, and also just again grounding it in realism.
Yeah, if they would have shown it at night, we would have been like, "Is that blue? What is that?"
Durant says the babies in this movie remind me of the Cabbage. Oh my god!
Odd
Yes,
looking. Maybe on purpose to make us not think they're very human. But
they did look like that.
like those little faces the Cabbage Patch Dolls had.
I will say, and I think you probably feel similarly about this. Regardless if if we
Kinda
just
cute.
take away that the babies looked bad or whatever, I think
Uncanny Valley.
I think the directing and the comedic timing of that, like when Barry's trying to eat the calories so he can actually save all the babies,
funny.
and then they do that joke where, you know, you're seeing him eating, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, he's gonna finally save one, and instead of grabbing a baby, he grabs like
Right.
a burrito
Fake
and
out.
puts it into the microwave.
And babies are wrapped up like burritos.
Right. So I think like the comedic timing of that specifically was well done, as well
I was laughing out loud.
as just that.
It's almost like he had to like push
aspect.
aside his duties for a second to like do them better, and then
Yeah.
he was like, "All right, I'll do this carefully. Can't break their necks."
Yeah,
Can't make 'em
I
puke.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
I really like the way they showed it because it was like, oh, what a way to show his powers and going up that building like
Oh,
that.
I loved that
I
shot.
had it kind of spoiled for me because of the what are those toys? People are gonna hate me for this. They have big heads. I think one is behind me.
Oh, Funko Pops.
Yeah. They had one of those of the Flash saving the babies, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was called a baby shower though. That's genius.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah.
So yeah, our consensus is, because I know that the baby shower is one of the biggest debated things. All in all, the comedic timing of Ezra or Barry, with the food and all that stuff is really well directed.
Hi, I'm glad you guys are saying hi.
Yes.
All right, what actor do we think has had the biggest redemption playing a comic book character after the first time didn't go so well? Oh, well, I was gonna say Chris Evans, but I guess he wasn't too bad playing Johnny Storm.
Oh yeah, he was fine in that. I think.
Yeah, he really redeemed himself with Captain America, though.
Biggest redemption playing a comic book character.
Yeah, it's almost like some people play one
Ryan
and then play it
Reynolds.
much better. Oh yeah,
But
Green Lantern.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I would say for
Going
me.
from green to red.
Yes. Yeah.
DC to Marvel.
And even it's like two redemptions, because when he was Deadpool in that what Wolverine movie was it?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
He like had his mouth off. You can't talk. Huh?
Yeah. So
Wow.
he had to take a double redemption.
Right. He was like, okay, I did it once. Now I'm gonna play X23
Oh my
or
God.
oh god.
Yeah, that would look
Wade
horrendous.
Wilson rides again.
One superhero actor or actress you'd love to get a photo or autograph from.
Oh man, if they were dead, I really like Adam West. I miss him.
That's a good one. I would actually. Well, see, now I'm thinking of. I keep choosing villains in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Superhero.
Topher
actor.
Grace as Venom.
Well, I was.
Signed Venom.
I was going to say. Well, you said Adam West, and so it made me think of Eartha Kitt from Catwoman.
Wow, we miss her.
Or like obviously,
Wow.
everyone knows I'm obsessed with Michael Shannon, so it'd be Michael Shannon.
Zod.
But
He will find us.
Yeah, for superhero.
I mean,
anyone from The
I have a lot of
Watchmen,
favorites,
I would probably like.
Snyder sure does cast them, so any of his. How about Billy Crudup as Dr. Manhattan?
Oh yeah, great stuff.
He's cool.
It's honestly though a really tough question. So thank you, Durant. The first one, Wonder Woman goes off the rails in the third act. Yeah, okay.
It was the first one, yeah. Man, it's been a bit. Love Kevin Conroy, one of the best Batman.
Yeah, you were very emotional the day he died.
Oh,
I don't know if you wanted to.
I really wish I got a cameo from him. I should have paid for one. Because I grew up with Batman the Animated Series in 92. I think I remember it premiering primetime. And watched it all the time on Saturday mornings, weekday afternoons. So every video game that came out pretty much had him in it, and the Arkham series, played all those, miss him dearly. And it wasn't until like the last year of his death that I found out he's LGBTQ, and I was like, wow, he's just amazing. And he got to tell his story, and rest in peace.
Yeah, he will absolutely be missed. And yeah, they could have done. I guess you can't really do a cameo,
but like
because
an animated version of.
Yeah,
come on.
I don't know.
I don't know. People need to give him more respect, and thank you. That's very cool for even mentioning him. The fact you got to meet him.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Jeez. Lucky.
Captain Boomerang. Maybe you know who that is?
Flash villain, part of the Rogues Gallery. He's in the Suicide Squad movies.
Oh, that guy.
Jake Courtney.
Okay, yes. No, I know who that is. Yeah, well, that is
why wasn't he?
That's a big complaint.
Even a cameo.
Yeah, any of the Rogues Gallery
None.
members.
They were probably like, oh, let's save him for Flash 2. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And then, no, that's actually a great point.
Man, you can't do that. So who even was the villain in this? Are we going to say that Dark Flash is the villain? Because you can't even like say that without spoiling the movie. You can't like not be able to not mention the villain of a film without spoiling it.
Well, it's supposed to be
Is
Michael
it Zod?
Shannon. But
Zod's the villain of this film, and we've seen him for 5 minutes.
Yeah, they did not get
Not
him
to go on a
enough.
rant, but like, what are we supposed to hate in this movie?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Who are we supposed to be? I'm not very mad with Zod. I already saw him get killed.
Right.
I know it's a different like multiverse, but like, he's just doing what he's thinking is right. We can't even go into that.
Yeah.
Because like he's just doing what he thinks Kryptonians would want.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, the reason why my name is Cinema Geek 100 is because I'm a geek who loves pop culture such as movies, TV shows, video games. Yeah, that pretty much says it all. We feel the same way.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. Great name.
Totally.
Have you guys seen Daredevil 2003 and Ghost Rider 1, both directed by Mark Steven
Is
Johnson?
that right?
And if so, what are your thoughts?
She's never seen Ghost Rider, right?
No.
But I've seen even Daredevil 2003, the R-rated cut with Coolio in it going crazy. It's amazing. Yeah, big fan of the Ben Affleck Daredevil on it. It's definitely better as a non-PG-13 movie.
Very cool. Bane is Tom Hardy's best performance ever. The only one that comes close is his performance in Warrior.
Wow, also shot in Pittsburgh. Hello.
Warrior is such a good movie.
Yeah, I don't even follow MMA, but that movie was amazing.
Oh my God.
The emotionality, and was that Joel Edgerton?
Joel Edgerton, yeah.
Dude.
And Nick Nolte.
Good stuff. Yeah, the right place, right time for that film.
I used to work with someone who always pronounced Nick Nolte as Nick Nolte. And I always thought that was hilarious. Nolte.
I
Nick
really
Nolte.
like Tom Hardy. That's a great actor. He needs to do more projects.
Oh, yeah.
I think his last one kind of...
It did. Wasn't that when he played the mob boss?
That gangster.
Yeah. I'm blanking out on what mob boss that was, but
Oh,
it wasn't
too.
Gotti, because that
No.
was John Travolta.
I wanted to say Capote. That's not a gangster.
Oh, then you're thinking of the one from Chicago. Oh my God.
Let's just say no. I won't even go into that movie.
Okay.
Horrible.
I have a question. Have you guys heard of any of anime? My favorite anime would be Death Note because the story, the plot, the characters, and the designs. To be quite honest, we are both not huge anime fans. He has seen a few, though, quite a few.
Mostly Miyazaki films, and I don't even know if that's,
I will say I've heard nothing but great things about Death Note, though.
Right. Simpsons even parodied it, so.
Yeah.
Pop culturally, I know they messed it up on Netflix live action, so sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't finish the question. Oh, no, I did. Sorry. My apologies. Jason, the old millennial, says, would you like to see the director direct another superhero movie in the future? Yeah, Andy Muschietti, I feel like, nailed it. Like, as far as directing goes, I don't think that's really an issue that anyone has.
I don't think anybody would complain about his directing.
I enjoyed the It series quite a lot.
Yeah, he just had to build suspense and make you be like, whoa, beautiful, grotesque. Ooh.
Yeah, the action scenes were really good in this, like as far as the directing goes. So,
yeah, I wondered how he even did it with his camera. I know
Yeah.
you can do a lot of virtual work nowadays, but still.
Yeah. My mom is in the chat.
Hey.
Hello.
Hola, Joy.
Thanks for saying hi.
Love to see you here. Mwah.
Laren says.
Oh yeah.
You
I was so lucky. They shot all over like downtown.
I'm gonna let you take this. I'll be right back.
Lawrenceville. Okay, I can go on about TDKR forever. Yeah, I just literally walked down from my house, and at the time they were shooting when they go to Commissioner Gordon's house, and his wife's there and everything. But I also know that they were casting extras for the football scene, and Heinz Field was all decked out. Yeah, what a proud moment. And I know they also shot in LA for a lot of that, but it was awesome seeing the streets of Pittsburgh just like huge. And I even got lucky enough to see the prologue of the big airplane sequence, I think a couple of times at the Omnimax theater there. So got t-shirts and everything, still own them to this day. So yeah, TDKR, maybe the best of the three. Who knows?
It is. I think it's. I think it.
Catwoman, enough said.
I have the hot take where it's overrated just because I think that without Heath Ledger's performance. Oh, you're talking about Dark Knight Rises. I'm sorry. My apologies.
The R makes the difference.
Yes, they're very similar titles. I know.
But
yes.
TDK can take the cake in many people's book.
Yes.
That's a Heath Joker movie. That should have been called Joker 0.5.
I just feel like if Heath Ledger and his improv, not the screenwriting, if Heath Ledger's improv and his performance weren't in the film, then it would not have been. Especially also, I think Aaron Eckhart was a great Two-Face.
Yeah.
But I think if you take all of that out, then the movie's fine. Like, it's good, but it's not like this epic thing. It's really, I think, Heath Ledger's.
Yeah, he did make up some stuff on for Nolan.
A lot of stuff.
As the connection to Pittsburgh, sorry, I grew up near there, a couple hours north, but I went to school there and lived there for 14 years. So got to know the city real well.
Yeah, very cool.
Miss it.
Do you think multiverse movies are being overdone now? I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
No, because I think everyone can have their own interpretation, and we're still figuring it out. And it's like good that we're working out these kinks and getting audiences used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get
It's a coincidence they're being overdone now.
I will say though that I really liked the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had nothing to do with the multiverse.
Was refreshing.
It was refreshing, like we can still have the multiverse concepts in these movies, but like let's have their own what?
They kind of did go planet hopping and end up on a planet that was kind of like a multiverse, but they were all animals instead of people.
Well, that's true.
It kind of feels like a multiverse movie in some ways.
Because that was the.
It's like they're like us, but they're not, and they're blue, and like
the evolution.
Like Yondu.
What was his name? The evolutionary.
High evolutionary.
Yeah, that was his.
Right. That's almost like, oh, what if there was a place where a guy made a planet? It becomes like, who's not doing a multiverse movie nowadays?
Right. Which I think like they can still exist. I just think I would like at least maybe like 60% of the films not include a multiverse plot.
Please.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit, They can still be there though. What are some of the movies? What are some movie characters from different franchises would you like to see team up?
I think it'll happen. Marvel versus DC someday, or at least Avengers versus Justice League, maybe.
Marvel's getting desperate now, so that might happen.
Disney's like, can we try to be friends?
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Who knows? Durant says, I want a Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie starring and directing Ben Affleck. Give it to me.
Mm-hmm. Got that. She got that for me. The animated one.
The Blu-ray.
So good. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Can you imagine? I don't know if those two companies or studios would work together, but
Those are two of your
Directing Ben
favorite things.
Affleck.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That seems too good to be true. Holy moly. Give it to me.
Yeah, those are literally his two favorite things. So
Right. That's coincidence.
Yeah, because he's a huge Flash fan and Batman fan. I feel like those are your two.
And it's odd that they gave us both.
So, well, I'm saying that as far as superheroes
comic
go,
books,
and then like Ninja Turtles are like your,
Yeah, it's my bread and butter. It's peanut butter and jelly.
Yes. My choice would Oscar Isaac redeeming himself, giving an amazing choice playing Moon Knight after him playing Apocalypse and X-Men. Apocalypse didn't go well.
I mean, they should have made him bigger and bulkier for that Apocalypse role. I remember reading X-Men comics back in the day. Man, Apocalypse was huge. He was so cool. And this just was like him being shrunk down to a man form. I know he could grow larger in the movie, but I really think they didn't cast the best person.
Well,
no offense to Oscar Isaac.
Right. Well, and then we actually really enjoyed Moon Knight. So, it gets a little out there at times, but like kind of in a good way. And they felt like
kooky
it took risks, and I kind of enjoyed that.
Marvel should do that more often.
And there was like one episode that was really deep when he's like revisiting psychologically like his childhood and all that. That was a phenomenal episode.
Love that choice they made.
So
it was very mysterious.
Durant says, weird question, but I'm really curious about this. Have you both seen superhero movie with Drake Bell? If so, give me your full, complete thoughts.
I remember seeing that in the series of, blank movie.
Okay.
All those bad parodies, B movies that came out.
They're not all bad, though.
No,
not another teen movie. Not another teen movie.
That started it all, I feel.
Yes.
Scary movie and that one, some of the best. But superhero movie, by that, was that 07, 08? Wow. I remember I liked seeing the references more than I liked the movie.
It makes me want to watch it now.
Oh,
I feel like after all of this crazy stuff going on with DC and Marvel, I think they made, first of all, I would like to give superhero movie a watch. Sure. And maybe this is the best time for someone to do another parody movie like that about superhero movies.
Because we totally didn't have a lot back then.
And think about how many multiverse jokes you could do.
No, we need
Let's
to
do this. Let's greenlight this movie.
Superhero movie too.
Let's make it happen. Durant,
those guys. I remember those guys who made those movies that made a fortune.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to do another one.
Totally.
Movie Cynic, thank you for joining. Ezra Miller's Flash made a cameo in Suicide Squad in 2016, a flashback when Captain Boomerang was captured.
Yeah, he's badass. He's like, "What are you doing robbing this bank?"
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because we were talking about his first appearance, and I think we both thought it was Batman versus Superman. So he was saying it was actually in Suicide Squad.
Well, I think BVS came out.
It did. Yeah. And then he did. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like filling in the blanks. Yeah, there's so many.
Wow.
I love how Warner Brothers is like, heck yeah, we got a Flash.
He said it's the only time they were on screen. Oh, it's because we were talking about Boomerang. That's why that was.
I completely forgot about that too.
Okay.
Yeah, if it weren't for like them being maybe not even on the same set that day, I would have loved it a lot more. It was just very disparate.
Yeah, that's
But totally.
Really good point. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I forgot. Man, they should have just done it one more time for this.
With Brave and the Bold, who would you want cast as Batman and Robin? Well, it's going to be George Clooney.
That'd be so sweet.
I'm kidding.
Right. I know that Robin has to be a person of color for this one. Just coming from Talia al Ghul. And for Batman, doesn't he have to be like somebody who's 40 or older? So let's get somebody not that well known, but grizzled.
Okay.
Like a John Hamm, but younger.
People have been wanting John Hamm to play Batman for years.
That's so true.
So I mean, I don't know. That's you have no secret. Like,
I don't want it to be a very well-known person. I like Robert Pattinson. I'm kind of glad it wasn't Nicholas Hoult.
Robert Pattinson's fantastic. I love that.
Somebody less known
the
than Robert
Batman
Pattinson.
is so good.
So wow me. I don't want to be like, I want to see, somebody who I don't want to judge too much because I don't want to know him from a lot of other projects.
And side note, the fact that the Batman with Robert Pattinson was not nominated for Best Cinematography is disgraceful.
Really makes you think.
stunning cinematography.
Nobody would say that movie's not beautiful.
Yeah.
The way they use those screens, like on The Mandalorian, for the backgrounds, they're doing it right. They're using that technology correctly.
So back to this, we would need a Batman back in his 40s.
He has to be old enough to have traveled around the world and fathered a child who's like 8 to 10 years old, and I think they want Superman to be like 20s, mid-20s.
See, this is I like that. I know that you like to have unknowns in these roles. I think you can definitely have Superman be an unknown. I think it's harder to get audiences on board with an unknown playing Batman. I think people always want someone that they already are established with and have a relationship with.
Over time, I have seen that. Yeah, people want something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to star this because maybe we'll come back to it. Movie Cynic. Tom Hardy's best performance is Bronson. That has been on my list, my watch list forever. You've seen it.
He scared me in that role. Yeah, he inhabited that man.
Yeah, if you want to.
Because it's a biopic. So, yeah, that's the first role I ever saw Tom Hardy in. Wow. I'm pretty sure. Because, I was renting flicks before TDKR came out. And that popped up. Totally. I got to show that to you.
Yeah.
It's very British.
I love that. I mean, my first exposure to Tom Hardy was Warrior, which we talked about earlier, but every time I had told people, oh, I loved Warrior, they're like, you have to watch Bronson, and it's just been one of those movies that it's like, okay, I'll get to it, and then years fly by.
Right,
you're like, oh my god,
2023.
So I will make sure to watch that very soon, though.
A classic. Thank you.
Oh, yes, because the word you said was I was blanking out on you said Capote. So Truman Capote was not the gangster. We've talked about how there were 2 Truman Capote movies that came out in the same year, which is bizarre.
Right when we were going to college, it's like,
you
guys want 2 Capote movies? No, okay.
Oh my god, one was it was Capote with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then Infamous.
I had to study them both for film classes, and I'm like, what is going on? I had to read him in another class. I'm like, okay. Oh my god. He's having a moment.
Absolutely insane.
Thank you, Laren.
Yes, thank you, Laren. Since I've met Nick Castle, I really want to meet James Jude Courtney as well and take a picture with him and have an autograph.
What?
I don't think I know who that is.
Mm-mm. But my sister's name is Jude. Very cool.
Yeah. I'm not, I think I can say this is for him as well.
Nick Castle, that's an author, isn't it?
It sounds like an author.
Maybe a director. I don't know.
But if he was at a horror con,
a director.
I was just going to say, I openly say that I like horror movies a lot, but I'm not one of the YouTube experts on horror, because there's plenty of them and they're amazingly knowledgeable. Their knowledge is
web.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that sounds really awesome, and I will probably look up who that is afterwards.
Good for you for getting autographs. They will be worth something.
No, it's okay. Don't apologize.
We're just ignorant about anime.
Anime is more popular than ever. Gen Z loves anime.
I have packaging, and it's like anime. I'm like, why is there?
Oh, like a craft beer you had.
Yeah, I'm like, what world do we live in? It's just everywhere. Yeah,
don't apologize for that. We're just, I don't know. Maybe different generation thing. I don't know.
Right. Maybe we were born.
Well, it's not that we're a different generation thing. It's just we're not as obsessed with anime as younger kids are.
The most anime I've ever watched is Sonic X, Saturday morning, One Piece stuff that got regurgitated down the line where it ended up on Fox Kids. So.
And your dad took you to.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke. Yeah. I know My Neighbor Totoro and all that. We're not on Crunchyroll, okay?
Commander Nerd, I'm still holding out hope that one day we will see a Marvel and DC crossover like in the comics, though it will never happen.
Right, it did happen in the comics.
Yeah, well.
I don't think the studios are going to get along that soon.
No, but I'm telling you, if Marvel's this desperate, maybe.
That would be
that would
so
be
righteous. That
would be hilarious too. And it would be Kevin Feige working with James Gunn again.
Do it. Oh, James Gunn said he wants it.
Yeah. So maybe we're onto something here, guys. Okay. And maybe that actually could potentially happen in the near future. Imagine this team up: Christian Bale, Batman, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Taron Egerton as Eggsy,
Yes.
and Peter Cullen as the voice of Optimus Prime, and the other voice actors for Bumblebee, Ironhide, Ratchet, Jazz.
Yes. View it true. I love how you capitalize every word. Keep it up. Amazing. Just imagine it. Imagine that team up.
Oh, yeah. No, he's just always commented on it. He doesn't know how you do it so well.
It's
So
like
with
a
the
keyboard feature,
capitalization.
you're a genius.
Yeah, you would be the better to answer this because there's definitely characters in here that I don't know.
Wow. It's all like these big, it's
Like-
the ultimate team up. It's like, what if you went further than just Marvel versus DC?
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know who Eggsy is, so.
From the British movies where he's like the Kingsman.
Oh, okay.
I think.
We're not sure, but
Yeah. Are we going to see No Hard Feelings? You're finishing your review of it right now. Nice. Kind of mid. Had some funny moments. J-Law is solid as always.
I would really like to see that. And I agree. Jennifer Lawrence is actually a really great actress. And I know she absolutely hated being locked down to the big studios and the X-Men movies and all of that. Not that she didn't have a good time, but I know, like, I heard her, she like took a little bit of a hiatus because she was kind of like, I just want to make stuff that I want to, actually, stuff that I actually care about. So like the last time we saw her was in Don't Look Up, and I thought she was great in
Enjoyed.
that. Yeah, I would like to see this. I honestly, we all need like an R comedy these days. Like, I'm glad that this was made because our comedies are, they're crucial.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they
need to laugh.
Yeah, more of those, and especially summertime is a great time for those. So I would definitely like to see that. And yes, I heard you talk about it on your stream on Monday with the Little Platoon, and I'm very looking forward to seeing your review on that. So yeah, definitely something we want to see. I want to see what's
keep seeing the ads for it. So yeah,
the
targeting us.
Well, it's hard this weekend too because we want to see Asteroid City, and I really want to see the A24 film.
Some of our bodies. Or,
no
life left.
Oh my God. I cannot remember this title. I've talked about this movie so many times.
Apologies.
Anyway, it's the latest A24 film, so that's enough.
There's a lot
enough
of
information there. But yeah, I do want to see that movie. So I might not see No Hard Feelings this weekend, but like definitely throughout the summertime for sure, because I'm definitely not going to go see Indiana Jones. So
sorry.
Maybe that weekend I'll see that instead. I fell asleep watching Batman Forever, and we walked out of the theater. It was just so boring.
What? Schumacher at least tried. 95, yeah. I don't know.
Schumacher.
The air conditioning must have been good.
If you guys ever watched the commentary of that movie with Joel Schumacher, he's like apologizing the entire time. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like,
maybe for Batman and Robin, but I don't know. Batman Forever, like that came out first.
Oh, Batman and Robin. Maybe it's that one. It was one of the two that it was. Batman and Robin. That's what it was.
He kind of feels bad for making that one.
Yes.
The Clooney mess.
Yes.
Batman Forever, boring. Yeah, I'm only because Jim Carrey may not have done a good job as Robin Williams could have.
That's a great point.
Think about it.
James Jude Courtney played Michael Myers in the reboot trilogy from 2018. Oh, okay. That's who he got the autograph from.
Not Kane Hodder. That was the earlier one.
Yeah.
Very cool. Seems like Jay Courtney's cousin.
We only have a couple more chats here, and we are going just for the hour. So I'm going to go through the last two, and then I would love anything. We'll take the last,
of course,
5 minutes to talk about, anything else you wanted to say, how you felt about the movie in general, kind of like a little mini review kind of thing.
That's great.
Very cool. Thank you for enlightening us.
We love learning.
Eggsy is the guy from Kingsman. Okay, so you were right. I still have to watch those.
Yeah,
as well.
we gotta get that trilogy. I have the first two on Blu-ray, but here we go. Yeah, I'm really proud to be a part of this Flash live stream. I know that this was something that I was looking forward to for solid 20 years, but then it became like 5 years, and they actually have a script, and then a director, and then they have an actor, and it all just came into place. I really like how they opened it up to more of the multiverse and how that was kind of shown in the way of the colliding worlds. I don't know if that's too much of a spoiler, but it's when you see Nick Cage and the earlier Superman, Christopher Reeve, and Helen Slater as Supergirl. It just reminded me of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that's a really Flash-heavy story. And then that ushered in their interpretation of Flashpoint. I'm glad we kind of got that without the whole battle between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans. I think stripped down, this could have been a better movie. I'm glad we at least got Michael Keaton back. I didn't think there was enough Zod.
Well, yeah.
I also agree with that.
That's all we talk about in this house is not enough Zod.
And I really just am so excited that he was even on screen for that long. It wasn't too short, wasn't too long.
You're talking about Michael Keaton?
I mean, the whole movie itself.
Oh, sorry. You said he was on screen for so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fanboy, and that kind of makes my interpretation of this movie a little bit more different than the rest. But just knowing that has anything to do with time travel, it's right up my alley. And I'm a very proud Flash fan. I'm proud to be on here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, actually, I had a question for you, and that was, what do you think of, they canceled the Batgirl movie. Like, we'll never see that, even though they filmed it.
With Batman.
Do you think that this film's controversies had anything to do with that? Or do you think maybe it was taking the DCU into a different, because personally they didn't really solidify anything about what's moving forward with the DC universe. So to me, like, that would be a reason of like, oh, well, let's not do Batgirl.
Not make people
because
excited.
Then it's going to, that's not the route we're going in anymore. Right. But they clearly could have kind of done anything.
Yeah, I think that mixed with AT&T having a say back in the day. Now it's Warner Brothers Discovery, so it's kind of a different direction with David Zaslav. I think that they don't want people to get excited about something that they're never going to get, so they might as well shelve it and act like Keaton wasn't going to be a big crux of this and bring in Batman Beyond. But maybe someday we will see Batgirl, because I think everybody loves Michael Keaton. I don't think anybody has a complaint about that man being Bruce Wayne or Batman. So bring it on. It could be some weird coincidence that we have some odd cameos in this multiverse-laden universe we're having in James Gunn DCU. Who knows? I like how it's kind of up for interpretation. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I think that they really should just take their time moving forward with the decisions that they make. And I think, we saw on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, James, we love Michael Rosenbaum, best Lex Luthor ever. James Gunn was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, and he said, I want to just not rush things, and I want to make sure we put out things moving forward that are of like the highest standard. Again, this is stuff after everything that we're seeing the rest of this year.
What's high standard,
And I think he did definitely do a few digs on the decisions that Kevin Feige has made, and just kind of doing a billion TV shows and a billion movies, because he was like, we're going to do very minimal, like specific projects as far as the ones that James is involved with. And I think that's like the right way to go. I think I think everyone now knows, everyone appreciates quality over quantity.
Right.
So
no, I feel like even some risks, you can salute to James Gunn, because, he's not doing 20 projects. He's doing, one every other year and making sure that they're done right. I have faith. And
we also can't wait for Folie à Deux, the Joker, Harley Quinn.
The musical.
We can't wait for that. We're very pumped.
DC is in good hands, I believe.
Batman as well. So the new Robert Pattinson. 2. Yeah.
Gonna have Clayface, hopefully. That would be nice.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to those.
It's a good time to be a fan.
I just want to do real quick. Just say thank you, Luke, for showing up.
What up, man?
Yeah, that's a totally fair assessment. I think that's totally fine, and it's totally fine for people to say it wasn't the best movie they've ever seen, but they had a good time and they liked it.
Enjoyable, right?
As you know what I mean? Like it's fine.
Did you enjoy yourself? Yes.
Yeah, right, exactly. This was
Good.
really fun. Have Max on for a happy hour soon. I'm gonna watch It's Always Sunny. Have a great night, you two. Oh, thank you so much,
Have
Larry.
a great night, man.
Well, thanks to everyone that showed up for this. It was really special having Max on because he is a huge DC and Flash fan. So I want to thank you so much for doing this with me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, so we might maybe
Feel the
we'll do a Blue Beetle one after that movie comes out.
Yeah, more DC action.
Yeah, he's the DC expert, so I enjoy having him
Why not?
on to discuss because his knowledge is worth a lot, I find.
Thank
So,
you. I
yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Your knowledge is amazing.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you all, everyone. And I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a good one.
And I guess I will leave you all with this. Whoops. Bye, guys.
Bye.